So the other big news this week, there's so much going on. Joe Biden looks like is going to be the nominee for the Democrats for president. And it's a remarkable comeback. And Bernie Sanders and his supporters are probably very angry about how the Democratic establishment quickly rallied around Joe Biden to deny Sanders the nomination. Now, do I know Sanders isn't going to be the nominee? I don't know for sure, but it sure looks that way. So the question is about Joe Biden is that we're supposed to forget all the corruption he was involved in. Remember there was an impeachment? Do you remember that? It's just a few weeks ago. Do you remember that? Why the coronavirus is raging in China, Congress is hijacked by the coup cabal and frozen in an illicit effort to overthrow the President of the United States. So rather than doing their job, they were abusing the Constitution. And they were doing so in large measure to protect the Vice President, the former Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden. Remember, the impeachment was that was the theory that President Trump had demanded accountability for corruption related to Joe Biden. And they were so desperate to distract from that underlying corruption that they tried to remove the president from asking questions about it. I mean, that's why I call it an obstruction of justice. The coup impeachment attack on President Trump was an obstruction of justice to protect Joe Biden from the consequences of his evident corruption, certainly as it relates to Ukraine. And when I say evident, I mean, look at the video where he boasts of threatening the removal of $1 billion in aid to get rid of a prosecutor who coincidentally happened to be investigating his son's company, Burisma. Burisma put him on the board, Hunter Biden, because his name is Biden, and they gave him money that was not commensurate with his experience. You know what you call that? Bribery, money laundering, conspiracy, all sorts of things. And there's plenty of evidence that the Obama administration was protecting Burisma up until the moment the president, and the deep state was protecting Burisma up until the moment the president was acquitted. As far as I know, they still could be. Because you know what? Are you aware of any investigation into the Biden scandals? Are you? What's the Justice Department doing? I don't know. Schumer just threatened 2 Supreme Court justices. Nothing happened. Hillary Clinton, more and more evidence of criminal conduct tied to her email server. Nothing happening. They're defending her. Pfizer reform. We're going to have Pfizer reform, everyone. We don't even know what happened. With the last round of Pfizer abuses, no one's in jail. No one's being prosecuted. I don't even think anyone's being seriously investigated at senior levels. But we're going to reform Pfizer. We should just ignore that. Oh no, there are increased criminal penalties for breaking the rules related to Pfizer. Huh, well, who cares? Because no one goes to jail for breaking the previous rules. So I get distracted. Because I want to tell you that we're on top of the Joe Biden scandals in a way that few others are. Judicial Watch files 2 new lawsuits against State Department on Biden-Burisma scandal and the alleged whistleblower contacts on Ukraine. There you go. Joe Biden and Burisma. All cables and emails from the Ukraine embassy about Burisma. Obama White House meeting involving an effort to squelch the Burisma investigations and protect the Biden gang. Documents like that. 2 lawsuits. 2 more lawsuits. Judicial Watch files 2 new lawsuits seeking records of how a government committee responsible for making sure foreign governments aren't messing with our sensitive investments or sensitive infrastructure issues. It's the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. Ukraine and China firms tied to Biden. We want to know what was going on there. Because remember, this China firm gave Hunter Biden's company a big in worth, everyone disputes the number, so I won't throw a number out. But let's put it this way, as best I can tell, it was an historic benefit to Hunter Biden's firm by the Chinese communists. We're asking about that. The Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States. 2 investments by 2 companies tied to Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, Ukraine's Burisma Holdings, and China's Bohai Harvest RST BHR. In 2013, the Bank of China set up BHR with $1 billion joint venture fund. $1 billion. And then they go out and they buy, in 2015, a Michigan car part company called Hinnages Over Automotive. They produce anti-vibration technologies, which of course also have important military uses. So you got this China-connected firm getting it in a sensitive U.S. industry. So that's why we're suing for that. We sued for documents on the firing of the Ukraine prosecutor that was investigating Burisma. The former Ukrainian ambassador, Ambassador Yovanovitch, we had information directly that she was illicitly ordering the monitoring of the social media accounts of people like Rudy Giuliani, the president's son, Sean Hannity, other people who were taking an interest in Ukraine, reporters like John Solomon. And what information did they want to track on? What were the keywords they were searching in terms of creating these illicit files? Biden, Soros, because the Soros-connected group in Ukraine was anti-Trump and pro and trying to protect Burisma, it looks like, as well. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lawsuits on Ukraine, Biden, China. And I don't think I have them all here. I think there's probably more. And I know we have dozens of Freedom of Information Act requests. So this is the Democratic way, this is the establishment way, this is the big government way, this is the swamp way, that if you are a powerful politician, if you're seeking high office, you're immune from criminal investigation or any investigation. And if there is an investigation, it's going to be a pretend investigation, a la Hillary Clinton. So the question is the Justice Department going to continue to protect Joe Biden, or are they going to do a real investigation? And the question is the State Department and the various agencies we're suing going to protect Joe Biden by slow rolling the documents? I'm not aware that we've received any substantive responses to any of the document requests and lawsuits we filed here. They're covering up. They're covering up. So the media wants you to forget about the Biden scandals. Congress is not doing anything on the Biden scandals. Nothing. And once again, it's up to Judicial Watch. Step in, do the heavy lifting, actually go to federal court to try to get answers. Your running for office does not make you immune from scrutiny under the rule of law. We've got to get away from that. And in the case of Hillary Clinton, the rule is if you lose when you run for president, you're also immune because, she's old news and we can't investigate her anymore. Who cares about that? You do. I know you do, because you support Judicial Watch. And we're not doing this because Biden is running. These lawsuits weren't dismissed when we thought Biden was going to be the loser. As of 2 weeks ago, Sanders is going to be the nominee. We didn't go to court and say, forget about it. We're not interested anymore. These lawsuits are mostly about accountability over the deep state coup against the president and what they were trying to cover up and expose that. In addition to holding a powerful politician like Joe Biden accountable to the rule of law. So as information comes in that's worth sharing, I will share it with you. The media won't share it with you, but you can trust Judicial Watch to do again, the education about what your government's up to and what seemingly corrupt government officials like Joe Biden are up to.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.